The Honorable Mr. Claghorn throws plenty of Dixie cups around. He and his cronies from both sides of the Mason and Dixon line can fill a lot of cuspidors. They can make quite a mess, that is, when they're playing at being patient, when they're sitting up all night, when they're waiting, till a tired little handful of liberals in the House loses its voice. When that happens, the gentlemen of the United States Senate spring into action, and it's all over in a flash. Even veteran observers sometimes can't follow the speed of the assault. Painstaking reforms, safeguards that took 13 years to grow, are yanked up, root and all, out of the soil of democratic law, left to curl up and rattle away in the dusty wind, just part of the garbage on the Senate floor, one with the cellophane and the Dixie cups. Here's a little human right, spirit with a little pointed stick. Drop it in a litter bag. Another human right, and another. Casualties resting with the crumpled notepaper and the cigar bands on the Senate battlefield. Here's part of the greatness of an era. Roll it up and cart it off. It's dead and gone. Here's part of the greatness of a great name. Dump it down the chute. What was that name again? Oh, yes, Roosevelt. But Roosevelt is dead. Haven't you heard? And the New Deal is dead. Long live the New Deal. I've never seen a plague of locusts, but I've watched a swarm of bugs liquidating a farm field. First there's one bug, then thousands of bugs, then millions. You can't swat them. Brush them off your arm, they light on your nose and in your ears and then in your mouth. Seems like they're moving in on the oxygen itself, taking over the very air you breathe. It's like that in Washington. The Ball-Burt and Hatch bill first, price ceiling on labor legislation, then the case bill. Wait a minute, nobody thought it would go that far, but it did. It went much further. An American president named Harry Truman came up with the most savage bill of all, and the Senate pounced like a bear trap. It was like a blitzkrieg in the House. An American president named Harry Truman stopped talking at 4:19. By 6 p.m., the House adjourned. The job was done. Labor was all but scuttled. Our elected representatives from here and there had set the American clock back 50 years. In the upper chamber, they were more methodical. They had plenty of votes to pass the Truman bill. But the smell of blood was in the air. You could hear the steady, quiet, careful champing of the tiger's teeth, finishing the kill. There was the case bill. First they passed that, but that wasn't enough. They threw in the Hobbs bill and every other piece of crackpot anti-labor legislation that was lying around. It all passed with votes to spare. Unconstitutional? What's that? I say it's unconstitutional. A lonely voice on the Senate floor.